Meeting of Ways and Means Education and County Properties are called to order. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman?
Correct.
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 Okay, Russell. Motion to call the meeting to order.
So the first thing on the agenda is the HCCC and the VHS project. And are we going to look to,
Dr. Murray and Nick to give us a quick.
okay, so if Dr. Murray and Nick will give us a quick.
No pressure, Ray, no pressure.
That's what Jim Wallace.
Good
afternoon, everybody. Today what we have in front of you is a resolution to secure the state funding of the project in the future of an academic building along with the VHS proposal. It's important that we secure the monies for this project from the state because the Division of Budget right now, working collaboratively with SUNY, needs a county-sponsored resolution for the 50% state portion of the monies. At this point, the local share has not been totally identified. But we're under a kind of a short time frame with the state to get it in their budget, that $1.5 million. If we don't receive the local share, we cannot access the state. But it's basically getting us in that budget for the future, for that capital budget for the state. I'll take any questions.
That's it?
So primarily the state has asked the college to get this information into them ASAP.
And one thing else I'll comment on. In the fall, we put our requests in usually. With this project, some of the monies, as you know, have been awarded for the project for the REDC money, okay? Regional Economic Development Council. Those monies should have been announced in October. October went by, November went by, other things with the state priority went by. We did not find out until December. And we bought some time with the state, but at this point, their budget has to be at the SUNY Board of Trustees in the very near future, and that's why we're asking for this resolution to come forward just to secure that. Because after the vote is taken and the resolution is adopted, we then take that resolution, we send it to the state, and that is when they actually plan on that $1.5 million put aside for the project.
So the college has adopted a resolution already?
Yes. Yes, they have.
And that was done last night.
Yes.
Just so everybody understands, we're moving as quick as we can here.
So we're going to have a special meeting on what day, Mr. Chairman?
Monday, I believe. Be the first available
Monday at what time?
to be discussed. What's good?
Noon, 11, 10.
I don't know.
Evening's good. Well, okay. I mean, it's just a matter of keep Monday open, providing it goes through committee. Yes.
So this is the REDC money?
Part of this project, let me just clarify this. There's two projects actually we're talking about. Resurrecting the health facility for VHS will be taking the lead on. And then working collaboratively on an academic portion of this, of an academic portion building. What we're talking about here is primarily the academic piece of this.
But where's the funding? I mean, we're putting that in to stay in the funding.
The state is going to be putting in the 50%. We do not have everything yet identified for the local share. And that's why I didn't identify it like you see in some of my resolutions, because I don't have the answers yet for that.
So I guess my question is this on top of the REDC money, or this is
Yes,
part
this is
of
on
it?
top. This is in addition.
Okay.
This is in addition to it.
I feel like I missed a meeting, and I'm not sure what one I missed, because I've been trying to be very diligent to come. When this legislature adopted a resolution about, I guess, a concept, maybe it was a concept, of having an assisted living facility on properties owned at the college and having a joint relationship between the college and Valley Health so that there could be a curriculum at the college and there. And Dr. Murray was very gracious and I think had Bob Schrader, Mr. Hartman, and myself up there and showed us the plans after the vote. And I remember at the time of this meeting, of the legislature, taking exception to that we were being called upon to vote on the concept without really having any information. And as it turned out, the information was out there, it just had not been shared with us. So now we have the monies that's coming through with the wonderful announcement of the piece of the 59 million or whatever that's gonna come to Valley Health. We really don't have any information on anything about that. Nothing has come officially to any committee or the legislature to explain how that is going to go and where the funding from that is gonna come. And what we have here is an idea that the college, that we should endorse a resolution that says you need $1.5 million and somehow you're gonna find out how to get it in order to secure $1.5 million towards a project that we really haven't been completely versed on in any official capacity. The cart is before the horse on this, and yet I think it's a wonderful idea. But I don't like the idea, and it's not bringing fault to you in particular, I don't like the idea that we haven't, no one's come and given us a presentation on anything, unless I missed the meeting. And that's the problem that I have with
No, I
this.
think you've outlined the events correctly.
So there was gonna be a study, I mean, I wish I could call it about a member of the audience, because in that particular resolution, there was promises of studies and whatever other kinds of things. I haven't seen any of them. So, I mean, we can be very enthusiastic and say, sure, let's give a resolution that says to the college, go lock in the $1.5 million and you'll come back and find the $1.5 million. And what is happening with the Valley Health proposal? Well, how is that impacting? We get a letter that our Country Manor isn't going to get assisted living beds right now. Well, I'm hanging my hat for the people in my community, hoping that this thing at the college is gonna go forward. I just think somebody ought to be calling where's Valley Health on this? What good is an academic building unless you guys know something happening with Valley Health that we don't know? That's my frustration. I think it's lack of information or lack of open sharing of the information that we have. And I'm not going to support this only because I'm back where we were months ago on the land.
And you're correct.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
And you're correct.
Yeah,
That might be the first time
That's the big one.
We do have issues in regards to lease and land
We
and,
gotta laugh.
and other things, and,
Mr. Chairman?
go ahead.
You know, I might even agree with the chairman about being correct on the whole chain of events.
I want
But-
results, I don't care
No,
if
I
I'm
know,
right or
I know,
wrong.
right, but I think there is more discussion. I know our council is working with their council. There's other information that's coming forward right now. We're just the reason why we're moving quickly on this is that we just don't wanna, I mean, if this does go forward, we have that money. If it goes forward without this action, we won't have time until another budget cycle to receive that money out there. But there's a lot more information that's gonna have to come forward because we haven't even worked on the lease arrangements, if we're gonna sell the property, there's all these other areas that I know you're concerned with because we're concerned with it too.
Well, what happened since the first time the concept was adopted? Who's been meeting and who has what and where's the status? That's my issue. I mean, this came out, I read the article in Sunday's paper, I think it was Sunday's or whatever, about assisted living, and I thought, this is what we need. I've been asking for it, about ALP beds. I think it's critically important for our Medicaid people in our community, but this is still backwards. This is backwards. This body should have been brought in at somewhere along the line just to give a presentation for us. I cannot believe that this money, the state money out of the 59 million, the piece that's going to Valley Health, hasn't been in discussion with somebody, and I can't believe, unfortunately, that Valley Health holds that information by themselves and you guys aren't privy to it.
Ms. Rose, Madam President, would like to make comment.
Helen, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not backwards. And it's not backwards because when you have a creative program or an idea that is really pioneering a concept of a public and private partnership that everybody isn't sure how to do this or how to go, where to go to. The thing that's great about this project is that everybody wants it to happen. but we don't know. SUNY doesn't know what they're gonna do with it because it's new territory. Bassett Health is trying to figure out. The college is trying to figure it out. The county is trying to figure it out. And so we're moving in, I believe, a very positive direction of trying to get the very answers to the questions that you're asking. Where we are right now is that we were able to secure funding from the Regional Economic Development Council. Because of the support from Herkimer County through that process, that REDC process, our project was listed as a priority. It then went to the Regional Council, which maintained it as a priority because of its uniqueness. And we need to really be patient as to how this is going to happen. Right now, where we are, we have the support of the federal government, we have the support of the state government, we have the support of the county, we have the support of the Board of Trustees of the college, we have the support of the State University of New York, and we are working to figure out how to make this happen by protecting all of the parties' interests. Now, at this point, the college is looking at a building that will provide us the opportunity to service the direct health care needs of Herkimer County. The thing that I think is unique about this problem, and it's unique in many ways, but in particular, this particular project is about Herkimer County. It's about our community. It is about our senior citizens having an assisted living place or finalizing the continuum of care, which is not complete here in Herkimer County. It's about providing the workforce necessary to provide that direct care, whether it's home care, CNA, LPN, registered nurses, laboratory technologists, patient navigators. All of these things are possible because they're tied to this. What this facility does for the campus is it creates an opportunity to develop the infrastructure to that point on our property. It gives us a facility on our campus that is unique within the state, I believe within the nation, but it also provides the college and its students a living learning laboratory, which is a whole new concept. It doesn't bother you any more than it drives Nick and I crazy, and I want to tell you, this guy is tough. He says, we can't do this, and I'll say, at this point. But what can we do to make it happen? And that's really all we're looking for.
I think what's a little bit different here, we come down here usually capital plans. Everything's identified, everything's set, it goes kind of in order. Every plan I've ever brought down here. This one's a little bit unique. We don't have a lot of mixers yet. And I wish we did. I wish for the conversation we take place right now. But it is a lot different, and there's a lot of parties involved to try to bring it together.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
The piece for me, and I do understand, REDC came up with some money. They did not do it by someone verbally saying, geez, give us some money, promise us some money because we've got this concept. All the things, Dr. Murray, that you say, I embrace. I embraced it when I came to your office last May or April or whenever it was.
I want to interrupt you for a second. What are the chances on Monday that you could have Valley Health here in the college here too?
Very easy.
Okay. So that's what we'd like to have done.
Okay.
We'd also like to say to you that I don't think there's anybody in here that is going to say that we're going to guarantee $1.1 or $1.5 million within the resolution.
No, we're not asking that.
No.
So I just want to make sure that's okay and that's okay with the state.
We're just trying, right, if we don't come up with the local share, we can't access the state share.
Right. So on Monday, whatever time that's going to be, we'll need a little bit more time. You'll be able to get
We'll be glad to do a formal presentation of the development as to where we are right now.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want, this is just for the educational part, right?
That's right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I just want to make sure that, I mean, we're trying to get out of the nursing home facility, Country Manor.
Right.
We don't want to be back into it in 20 years.
It'll be a separate piece.
It's a separate piece, but it's all integral, and we need to know how it all works together in order to come up with a informed decision. Yeah.
Can we work on getting this meeting in the evening, since it's so important? I think we have a lot to learn. And I also want to ask, is there language to this resolution? Is there a resolution before this committee at this point?
I think the only one, Gary, you have is on your desk that was done by the college last night. And they got that to us as quick as they could get it to us, and I put it on your desk today.
I understand all that, but
No,
There's time for-
that's all we have.
Yeah,
Okay.
this happened.
I mean, I guess,
This happened quickly, but I think that we need to, step back and look at things and see if we can certainly go through with this. Bruce?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion in ways and means to go ahead and accept this.
Okay?
To
I'll
do what?
second
I'm
it.
sorry.
Who
Can
seconded
you
it?
repeat that? I don't know, except what?
All we're doing here is asking to move this forward so we can secure the funds if we go forward with this project and all of it. That's all. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing here, is making sure we don't lose the $1.5 million max. That's all we're doing.
This is
I don't
a
know why
motion,
everyone's making it bigger
this is
than
a
it is.
motion in support of the resolution by the college. Is that a correct, fair statement? So we have a motion by Bruce Weekly and a second in Ways and Means by Mr. Ackerman.
Yes.
And it allows us to what, accept the motion, Mr. Chairman, just a point of order, I don't understand what we're.
We have to have a motion to be able to have a special session for Monday.
So it's not adopting the resolution that you're gonna consider
No, this is
Monday,
to
it's
adopt
just
the
accepting the
resolution.
resolution from the college?
Yeah.
This is to adopt their resolution and to move forward with our own resolution to giving them permission or whatever it is to ask the state for 50% of the $3 million.
We want to get on the docket. They have a list of all projects they're gonna fund, if the local match exists, we want our names to go.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
comment on this motion. I think that, I'm pleased that they came today. They came asking us for this because they really can't go forward with this without our role in it. I am disappointed that the committee, in whatever form, hasn't had any updates since last May or whenever that resolution was adopted. I hope that prior to your special meeting on Monday, that information can be emailed to us in whatever hard information there is, other than the concept, that caused the economic, the monies come forward to Valley Health and whatever else we have. If there's anything that can be shared prior to walking in here for your special meeting,
I think
would
it's very
certainly help me.
simple. They weren't sure whether they were gonna get funding through the state program. All of a sudden they did. It came a little bit later than they had anticipated. And now the state has requested that they get their project on the docket, and they gotta have it in by a certain amount of time.
Mr.
So
Chairman, I
on-
agree with that, but remember, the resolution that was adopted talked about a study and everything coming. No studies ever come to us.
No study, that's right, no study has come to us.
And yet there must be something that was done in order to get the piece of the pie. That's all I'm saying, I'd like to see it.
Can she see
Well,
that?
that's the CFA application.
Yeah,
that wasn't done by the
CFA
college.
application went through the process, it was
That-
available.
Done by Valley Health.
I'm not faulting anyone
I'm
for
sure
going
that
after
was done by
money.
Valley Health.
Yeah,
That would be their business, whether they want to share that or not.
Oh,
I don't understand why you would vote no to not move this forward to secure the 1.5 million. I have no idea why that would be a no vote. I don't understand it.
I don't want to vote no. I said I don't want to vote no.
Hang on, please.
Please ask him not to characterize my vote.
You said.
Hang on, please. Hang on, please. Mr. Hendricks.
You gotta get a second.
You got a second on that?
Second.
Okay, Jim.
Remove ways and means. We already
Wait,
did.
Properties,
Yeah.
Ray and Bob.
Ray and Bob.
I mean, call it, the end of the call.
Now, Mr. Ackerman, did you have anything further to say?
I was
Now,
just,
please,
I was
Point of
just
order, Mr.
please,
Chairman.
just
You've got a
please.
motion to move.
Please make sure we're in debate.
And a motion to move.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Rose, we're in debate.
Oh, good.
Always debate in between.
I was just responding to Mrs. Rose's comment earlier that she could not vote yes for this because she didn't have enough information. And I was just saying that all we're doing here is securing the 1.5 million if we go forward with the project. If we don't do this now, we're not gonna have a chance to get that 1.5. That's all we're saying.
Mr. Hart.
Yes, my understanding, and Mrs. Rose can clarify, she was speaking that we should have more information before we make a decision. My personal concern, and I think like everybody else, I'm 100% behind this thing, but do we have an obligation to our constituents and to the county to make sure that things are worded correctly and we're not getting ourselves into something we didn't want to. And if somebody's looking for information, I don't think any legislator should frown upon that, because that's part of our job.
I don't think any legislator is frowning upon it. I think it's a question of moving this forward so we can have the presentation on Monday, and it might not be to the satisfaction of a few, but I think once we learn of what's going on Monday, that we'll be able to move forward with the resolutions from the three committees. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I hope what I said, and I certainly am glad the citizens group is here because I'll listen to their recording. I very much would love to see this initiative go forward, very much for our community. I think it is what is needed in our community. I would love to be able to vote in favor of it. I appreciate that the vote we're being called upon is almost a placeholder for the money. I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is that we are not readily getting information on a significant project that has such a wonderful effect on our community. I wanted to go on record saying, please share what you have to this point, so I can be as enthusiastic.
I think that you have been answered in regards, you will have the information on Monday.
On Monday, when you, okay,
When
in
we
the
do,
special
when we
meeting.
do the, now, I cannot sit here and say Valley Health is gonna give you the information in regards to what they submitted in regards to their own funding. But we can certainly do it on behalf of the college, because after all, that's what this resolution is about.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask the meeting be scheduled in the evening possibility?
Well, you don't ask me, you can ask.
Okay,
I'll
well,
try to have it now.
okay. It just, get everybody informed. That way-
Yes.
And again, I say my support for the project, but I could also mention for those of you that may think that none of us should ask any questions or.
No one has said that.
No,
No
wait,
one should
okay,
ask.
all
That's a
right.
bad character.
Listen, that was bad characterization. But I think some of my concern is in view of where that letter of intent came from, is that it came before us before we knew anything about it. And there was a committee meeting that night. And I think I shared with the president at our meeting that we should have been more informed, and I think she was under the impression that we were, because somebody was. But at that point, we had a resolution in front of us at a committee meeting about this massive project that we didn't know anything about. So I think you gotta think of the history that we may be concerned that we want everything done.
I'm looking at every legislator's face, they're all concerned about every issue that we've already brought up. But the question is, are we gonna go forward, or are we gonna go backwards? And I see everybody else saying we're gonna go forward.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
Learn
sir.
from the
Just
past.
a quick reminder too, because what happened is, we had scheduled a meeting, we didn't have enough information. I sent to every legislator here by email the 2 sheets that Dr. Murray provided to us. That's the only information that we have.
And
Just
that's
so
the only
everybody,
information the college
and we're polling things to try to get to those 2 pieces of
I think
information.
Mr. Walsh said-
So just so everybody, I'm getting a sense that I'm being accused of, well,
absolutely.
I'm just saying, Jim Wallace is speaking,
Absolutely.
because I heard you say that it was done before and it's done again. All I'm saying to you is the information, and it's probably 90%
That was
of
before
what we
the
have.
award. That was before the award.
Absolutely, and
That's the key component
but the
there.
point is, we
Yeah.
pulled it back, and we
Right.
told you we pulled it back, because we wanted to hear, I think it just had to be said, because it's on tape, and I think people need to understand, whatever we have, it's been given to you.
Mr. Rose.
Thank you.
Yes, Mrs. Rose.
So the plan that we have here is, the monies, the economic money is to build the assisted living facility. This is to build an ancillary building or be part of that total structure. I try to understand, are we talking about 2 different buildings?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's a building that will be connected, most likely through a corridor, to the health facility, but we're only talking about the academic piece. It's the only thing that we basically are working on the funding for.
Which wouldn't happen if the other big project didn't go forward.
No,
We don't,
and vice versa.
yeah.
Oh.
yes, Mr.
The fact of the matter is, if Valley Health can't put the last piece of the puzzle in, this is a dead issue. That's all, the cart is not before the horse here.
And I think it would be fair to say that we'd be looking for partial funding or full funding from them,
A lot of details.
in my opinion.
And as the fellow president, I feel it would be irresponsible to put out information that is not finalized, that is incomplete, that may very well not be able to really represent what's happening. I mean, we don't want to bring something to you and then follow it with a disappointment. We have to be very careful with the information as it progresses and improves.
There's a motion and a second on Ways and Means. All in favor of bringing this resolution forward to have a special meeting on Monday?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Ways and Means.
Everybody on Properties Committee in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried in Properties.
Okay, ditto on education?
Aye.
Carried.
Anybody opposed?
Need a motion to adjourn Ways and Means. Bruce? Third Ackerman.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Motion to adjourn education. All in favor?
Property.
Motion to adjourn properties?
I need a motion on property.
I moved it.
Done. Second by Bob.
Seconded by Bob.
Education.